Hey y'all, I'm Kayleen Stevens. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about something that, again, is very important to me. Have you ever felt powerless or judged, pressured to act in a way that wasn't you, just to survive, to keep someone from getting angry at you, or to avoid being blamed? That was my life. I grew up in abuse as a child and then eventually married into a different kind of abuse as a teenager. Um, I wanted nothing more than to be loved, to be accepted, and all the things that you want as a person. Um, that turned me into a people pleaser and constantly changing myself until I didn't even know who I was. That pressure is real. And it was the same kind of pressure that the early church faced. So today we're going to talk about faith alone, living free and courageous in a pressured world. Right now we are reading in Galatians 2:20. My old self has been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. So I live in this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. Paul's story in Galatians 2 reminds us that our worth and belonging come from Jesus, not from how others treat us or the rules they impose. So point 1, faith alone is enough. In Galatians 2, verses 3 through 5, Paul says, "Not even Titus was compelled to be circumcised. We did not give in to them for a moment, so that truth of the gospel might be preserved for you." Paul refused to let cultural rules define Titus's worth. Similarly, your value isn't defined by what others say or demand, but by faith in Jesus. I know what it's like to live in a house where someone constantly tells you you're not enough. That was my life, and I was told I wasn't good enough unless I followed every demand. And even then, that wasn't good enough either. I still failed. But God brought me out of that and showed me my worth in Jesus, not a man. That's the first step of freedom, knowing God sees your worth. Point number 2 is integrity matters. In verses 11 through 13, Paul writes, "When Cephas, Peter, came to Antioch, I opposed him to his face. For before certain men came from James, he was eating with the Gentiles. But when they came, he drew back, fearing the circumcision party." Peter's fear made him act one way in private and another way in public, hurting those who needed acceptance. I've done that too. I hurt someone I deeply care about because my words and actions didn't match. The hurt look in their eyes is something I will never ever forget. It sticks with me to this day. It taught me in time. It really does stick with me. It took time and consistent humility to rebuild that trust. It's a daily thing. That taught me the importance of integrity. Integrity means what you say and what you do line up, even when it costs you something. It's courage to stand in truth, not in fear. Speaking truth with love is point number 3. In verses 14 through 16, Paul says to Peter, "When I saw that their conduct was not in step with the truth of the gospel, I said to Cephas, 'We know a person is not justified by works of the law, but through faith in Jesus Christ.'" Paul confronted Peter because silence would have allowed hypocrisy to continue. Speaking truth with love is an act of courage that protects dignity. For years, I thought if I could just get it right, if I could just be what they wanted or needed, maybe I'd feel loved. But Galatians 2 showed me I'm made right with God through faith in Christ, not performance. The truth set me free. Speaking truth with love doesn't mean anger or bitter words. It means naming reality, setting boundaries, and trusting that God honors your courage. So this week, take one step to honor your God-given dignity, whether that's telling a trusted friend, or setting a boundary, or seeking help. You belong to God, and He sees your value, protects your dignity, and calls you to live in freedom, integrity, and courage, no matter what anyone else says. Love y'all, guys, and I hope you have a great week.